How's it going, guys? My name's Shane. Welcome back to the Horror Basement and another installment in the classic horror review series. Today we're going to be talking about Doomed to Die, which is another Mr. Wong film, which was released the same year as the previous one we covered, The Fatal Hour. So these movies were both released in 1940 and starred Boris Karloff of Frankenstein fame as brilliant Chinese detective Mr. Wong. And along with his two sidekicks, basically, Bobby, the sassy female reporter, and Bill, the world's angriest police chief, they are back to solve another murder. Now, this murder is actually of shipping baron, owner of a large shipping company, Mr. Wentworth. He recently had one of his boats sink, which is not good for business. And he is greeted in his office by his competitor, Mr. Fleming, who he basically tells to buzz off, and that he's not going to join the companies together. And just a few moments later, he's visited by Mr. Fleming's son, Richard Fleming, who is asking for Mr. Wentworth's permission to marry his daughter, Cynthia. Now, of course, while they're in the office arguing, Wentworth gets shot, and assuming that it was young Richard Fleming that did it, Bill actually arrests him and is ready to charge him and, call this a closed case. But it turns out that Bobby, the intrepid young reporter girl from the previous movie, is best friends with Cynthia Wentworth, and Cynthia basically requests that Bobby get someone else to look into it because she wants to clear Richard's name. So of course Bobby calls Mr. Wong in on the case yet again, and the three of them work to solve the murder of Mr. Wentworth. Now beyond that, I'm not going to spoil what the ending or who done it for you. But if you're interested, then go watch the movie. But while I was watching this, I found myself just comparing it in my head to The Fatal Hour and seeing which one I liked more. Because if you watch that video, you know I gave a thumbs down. I didn't recommend that you watch The Fatal Hour. And a lot of the same problems that movie had, this one has as well. But some of the good things, though, this one seems to have a lot more Boris Karloff in it, and as far as the acting goes, he's carrying the movie. And I found the first act, or the first 20-25 minutes of this, way more exciting than the beginning of The Fatal Hour, because people are getting shot. Mr. Wong actually goes and meets with the Chinese mafia in this secret room in the back of an herb shop, and somebody shoots Mr. Wong in the arm, and there's a big hastily edited together car chase. For the first 25 minutes I was like, oh hell yeah, this is a lot better. But I mean, after that you get back into the procedural stuff. Mr. Wong going around and interviewing people and looking for clues and trying to solve it. And it, has the same issue as the previous one, where it just seems like we spend a lot of time getting introduced to all these characters, 90% of which end up being red herrings, until finally Mr. Wong pulls some bullshit out of his ass. He was like, oh yes, I knew all along it was so-and-so, and da-da-da-da. Yeah, so unfortunately, as far as this one goes, I'm going to have to not recommend it. I'd definitely say of the two of them, I liked this one more than The Fatal Hour. But I mean, it's still, a pretty cheaply made. You can tell they use a lot of the same sets they did on The Fatal Hour in this one. The police station and everything is the exact same soundstage set. But yeah, I didn't find either of the movies that interesting, especially if you're trying to watch a horror movie. And this is a detective drama. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.